Greetings, everyone. This is me, Zahra Berserk here. So let's see if I will be able to do justice to the Samiri cast and the Quran ayats against him and his soul. So going to Surah Taha ayats. Your one God, Muslim, will be gone. Worship one God. So challenging. Discovering actually here I don't know if I will be able to do proper justice to the polytheists through these ayats. We'll see first of all the soul. Samiri says that is soul inclined, and the tafsir on this is we can see the tafsir on the ayat also 95. Tafsir Ibn Qatir's Ibn Kathir's tafsir on this ayat in Surah Taha, how As-Samiri made the calf. Musa said to As-Samiri. So I'm going to start from the tafsir. You might want to open the Quran ayat, but I'll start from the tafsir. Surah Taha ayat 95. Musa said to As-Samiri, what caused you to do what you did? What presented such an idea to you, causing you to do this? Muhammad bin Ishaq reported from Ibn Abbas that he said, As-Samiri was a man from the people of Bajarma, a people who worshipped cows. He still had the love of cow worshipping in his soul. However, he acted as though he had accepted Islam with the children of Israel. So he was a hypocrite who was there, we're told. And this tafsir doesn't make it easy for me, but I will try my best to show you that worshipping one God through the polytheism, a polytheistic way, is not bad or najis or impure or unclean. And also going through whether this soul enticed only it was due to As-Samiri being a worshipper of cows and a hypocrite at the time of Musa, Hazrat Musa, or is there someone else who says if Allah had not helped me? You see, because there is someone else. In Surah Yusuf, we are told when Zulekha attacked Surah Yusuf, wanting to seduce him, Yusuf, so she attacked, and he said that if my Lord had not helped me, the soul is inclined to evil, right? So my soul would have done it, gone for it. So here, since they portray Samiri as a hypocrite who always worshipped cows and never left this in his heart or soul, especially in his soul, he loved the cow worshipping, and he was a hypocrite. But there's another ayat that I just said, right? That the soul is inclined to evil. So carrying on with the tafsir, however, he acted as though he had accepted Islam with the children of Israel, thus being a hypocrite. His name was Musa bin Zafar. Qatada said he was from the village of Samara. Samiri, now is the ayat. Samiri said, I saw what they saw not. So this means I saw, now the tafsir goes on, this means I saw Jibreel when he came to destroy Fir'aun. So we're told that Samiri cast, the Samiri, he saw Jibreel. And this also to be considered. Why did he see Jibreel? And so how is God testing him like this? That he can see Jibreel? You know, if they have eyes to see. So we are told in other ayats in the Quran that these polytheists, the blind, they follow blindly the forefathers. They don't see anything. If they have eyes to see, their idols also, and they're following false gods. So, I mean, he was so special that he saw Jibril when Jibril came to destroy Pharaoh. So he had that eyesight, that sight, vision. So I took a handful, kabda, from the print of the messenger. This means from the hoof print of his Jibril's horse. This is what is well known with many of the scholars of tafsir, most of them. Mujahid said, so I took a handful from the print of the messenger. So he saw the print of the messenger from under the hoof of Jibril's horse, right? He also said the word kabda means a palmful, and it is also that which is grasped by the tips of the fingers. Mujahid said, as Samiri threw what was in his hand onto the jewelry of the children of Israel, and it became molded into the body of a calf, which made a light moaning sound. The wind that blew into it was the cause of its sound. Thus he said, and I threw it. This means I threw it along with those who were throwing jewelry. Thus my inner self suggested to me. This means that his soul considered it something good and it was pleasing to his self. So the punishment of Samiri and the burning of the calf thereupon, Musa said, then go away and verify your punishment in this life will be that you will say, touch me not. This means just as you took and touched what was not your right to take and touch of the messenger's footprint, such is your punishment in this life. That you will say, do not touch me. This means you will not touch the people and they will not touch you. And verily you have a promise that this means on the day of resurrection, that will not fail. You will have no way to escape it. Qatada said. And so touch me not, it is referring to a punishment for them. Anyhow, so I think this is enough that now from the Sunni sources you can see, Islamic sources, that the soul, he says, inclined to me. But part of this history outside of the Quran kind of makes it difficult, but we will see that he was a hypocrite and he was worshipping. But then ask yourselves, like I said, the soul, like what is the soul, right? Can you trust it? So that's important here. Now, or could Allah have made them like sat down with them and said, look, this is the soul and I am sending messengers, so I'm the messenger who Allah could have told them through the messenger and made them see for themselves what is inside of them, what is good, what is bad. So it just jumps to things, and the Quran ayats and all these, monotheistic scriptures, they don't make sense. And thank God that we have this scripture here, Quran, that we can now try to show you properly that this is all wrong. Okay, there's one God, but you can worship even a stone if you like, if you're devoted to a stone. Maybe that your love, your worship, your devotion can take you to that one God, the perfect God. What are the signs here, right? Are they imperfect, which are leading to God? These are also ayats. These are the signs. Ayats are signs of God. Can they be imperfect? You look at the sky. Can it be imperfect? So if you worship God looking at the sky, at the stars, where you can't reach, it's His signs. So you worship God through them. What is wrong in that? Saying that His signs are imperfect? That you worship imperfect things to get to God? Even God doesn't say that, right? But He does say directly that worship me, and meaning do not worship His signs, but then and do not worship His messengers. But then in Surah Fat we are told, ninth ayat, that praise Him morning and evening. Some say I.e. Allah, they put in brackets, but it means, whatever it means actually the messenger is to be praised morning and evening. Or if you help him, assist him, and in the end if it says praise him morning and evening, and they say that Allah, so that means helping him and assisting him, and all that. Although the ayat itself doesn't say Allah, praise Allah morning and evening in the end. But anyways, if we go with them, the ayat, the mistranslation or putting Allah in it, then we can say that, but still it's helping the messengers like helping Allah, right? Praising Him morning and evening, praising Allah morning and evening, and honoring Him, the messenger. So there's something wrong here, I felt. The ayats don't fit, there's something. So what I did, you can see the ayat now. Moses said, so 90, Moses said, what is your case of Samiri? That was 95. 96, he said, I saw what they did not see. So I took a handful. They did not see. And he saw the Pharaoh, Jibrail. He saw Jibrail's footprints, hoofs, the horse's footprints. He said, I saw what you did not see. So I took a handful of dust from the track of the messenger and threw it. And thus did my soul entice me. My soul, it says nafs, right? How can... So we are told that, his history was that he was a hypocrite and his soul enticed him. But can you trust the soul? Or what is it inside of you that you can trust, that Musa would tell you, trust that? And therefore you can see that I am the true messenger of Allah. And when I'm at the mountain communion, having a communion with God, you down there don't worship other things. Even remember, you'll be tested or something like this. Like Allah even told Adam, be careful of this Satan. But he didn't stop Satan from this thing, misleading Adam in heaven, or lower heaven, or whatever they say. So they have reasons for that in the end it is good. But no, that story just is of fallacy, because Allah should have intervened. Why did Allah not take time? I mean, why did Allah take time? Sorry, I'm a little bit in this berserk state condition, and not eloquent at all, so please bear with me as I go on now. So it says in Arabic nafs, his nafs, right? And then Allah tells Moses, before what Allah tells Moses, that I've chosen you for myself, yani my nafs, right? So if you want to know Allah's nafs, then how do you know Allah's nafs? You will have to purify your nafs to know that Moses is Allah's nafs, the messenger sent down here as Allah's nafs. Jesus Christ is Ruh Allah, Spirit of God, Allah. Okay, we see here in Surah Yunus, Hazrat Yusuf, the righteous of Allah in the Bible, and also like he's been. So what is this? I do not acquit myself. Indeed, the soul is persistent enjoiner of evil, except those upon which my Lord has mercy. Indeed, my Lord is forgiving and merciful. So I think we need to pray that Lord have mercy on us. We are dependent on that prayer. But then again, ask yourselves, is this like, because I'm leading to the nafs, which, what is inside? The heart, which will not deviate. So if Moses had called his people with telling them that, look in your heart, God will tell you in your hearts to love me, to love Allah, follow me, and Allah will love you, like that. So there are some missing things in this whole, the ayats against the polytheists and the Samiri caste. Like, I have been confused even when I was a Shia, because in my life experience I had this thing about reincarnation, and that too I could not get. Like, there are ayats that allude to reincarnation, like if whatever you may be made of iron or what, God will resurrect you, or like that. So, and why doesn't God allow that transmigration of the souls? Yet he gave life to some people. When in one of the ayats, I couldn't find that, when the Bani Israel, children of Israel, were at war with someone, and they one of the parties in war, they ran away, and then God brought them back to God made them die, killed them, and God brought them back to life, like that. So that we say, the Muslims say it's okay. Islam says that can be done. But transmigration of the soul, traveling a soul into another body, coming in another body, giving it another material body life, is not possible. However, nothing is impossible for Allah. Allah can bring you back to life. Immediate after your death, He can give you life again. But once you've gone in the grave, and then the transmigration of soul doesn't happen like you give birth. Like some other woman gives birth to you, and so the another life of the soul doesn't happen. This is quite, it's confusing, except those upon which my Lord has mercy. Indeed, my Lord is forgiving and merciful. So the soul is a persistent enjoiner of evil. So if the soul is the problem, then we must concentrate on the soul and pray that, Lord, have mercy on our souls. And be able to show us that the soul is the one, rather than test the Samiri like that with the messenger, Jibrail's horse coming. And he saw it. In fact, we are told in the Quran that these people are blind, deaf and dumb, and they just follow their forefathers' traditions blindly. This, and what else is there? Is there anything else? Yes, so it says here, I have chosen you for myself, to Musa, and I have prepared thee for myself, nafsi, the nafsi. You see, he tells Moses in Surah Taha again, 41 now, verse 41, ayat 41. And I have chosen you. God tells Moses, I've chosen you for myself. So could Moses be, can you say, Musa nafsallah? Like you say, Musa Qalim Allah, he spoke to Moses. Ibrahim, Khalil Allah, friend of Allah. Isa, Rah Allah, spirit of Allah, because it's in the Quran. And can you also say that Moses was the Nafs Allah? Not the spirit as Isa was, but the Nafs also. And Kalim Allah, not to deny that. Like Isa, we say Masih, right? Isa al-Masih, Surah Tawbah at 31, I think, or 33. What it is, and the number. So now, I found this recently, took a shortcut, an ayat here. And it says here that those to whom we have given the scripture recognize it as they recognize their own sons. Surah Anam verse 20 and Surah Baqarah verse 146. I think which one is for Prophet Muhammad? Let me see. And and it could be more wrongdoing than he who eat of those to whom we have given the book know this as they know their own sons. Know this book as they know their own sons. The ones who lost their own selves, so they do not believe. They have lost their nafs. So nafs is the problem, right? The soul is the problem. Anyways, they say they recognize them as their own sons, or this as their own son. Say, what thing is most weighty in evidence? Say, Allah is witness between me and you. This Quran hath been revealed to me by inspiration, that I may warn you and all whom it reaches. Can you possibly bear witness that besides Allah there is another Allah? Say, nay, I cannot bear witness. That's true. You can't bear witness that besides Allah there's another Allah. Say, but in truth He is the one Allah, and I truly am innocent of your blasphemy, of joining others with Him. Right. So do you think this way of telling the polytheists would reason would, because I'll show you, prove it, that this is the wrong reason. Since they worship these other signs and things, for them is signs of Allah to reach to God. Surah Zumar ayat 203. Those to whom we have given the scripture recognize it as they recognize. So it's about the scripture recognizing it as they recognize their own sons. Those who will lose themselves in the hereafter do not believe. So please sit down and let me show you, or let the messenger show you, that your nafs is not good. And who is more unjust than one who invents about Allah a lie or denies? Who is more unjust? Who invents about Allah a lie or denies His verses? Indeed, the wrongdoers will not succeed. And mention, O Muhammad, that day we will gather them all together. Then we will say to those who associated others with Allah, where are your partners that you used to claim with Him, with Allah? Right? Then there will be no excuse upon examination, except they will say, by Allah, our Lord, we were not those who associated. 23 verse of Surah An-Nufal I just read out. 24, let's see. See how they lie about themselves, and lost from them will be what they used to invent. So they've invented all this. And among them are those who listen to you, but we have placed over their hearts coverings, lest they understand it, and in their ears deafness. And if they should see every sign, they will not believe in it. Even when they come to you arguing with you, those who disbelieve say this is not but legends of the former peoples. Now this doesn't mean that Allah has put in their hearts covering because, Allah is just, we say. So it's something they have done. They don't want to come, and they have put on their hearts covering. Like that the Muslims explain. You can read the tafsirs and understand this part. And they prevent others from him and are themselves removed from him, and they do not destroy except themselves, but they perceive it not. So it's very, very strict that you worship one Allah, right, in Islam, and you do not associate anyone with him. And then there are, like in Surah Araf again, Ayat number 31, 33. Again, I'm forgetting, it's like 30. That do not associate with with Allah without authority. So the Sunnis say no authority was sent. So, and the Shias take that verse as no. When authority is sent, then you have to associate, because there is association. Here, in the Quran ayats, Qibla was changed. So let me see now how I go here. Refer to there is no God but He, the ever-living, the self-subsisting, by whom all things subsist. Oh goodness, sorry, excuse me. He has revealed to you the book with truth, verifying that which is before it, and He revealed the Torah and the Injil aforetime, a guidance for the people, and He sent the Furqan. But you see problems, and you say those Jews, amongst the Kitab and the Muslims, like they can't come to terms. See Muhammad in the Bible, and so this is going on, right? Problem. Couldn't Allah have made it easier? Now what is this? They say they do not wait out, but Allah should come to them in shadows of clouds, along with the angels. Like, do they want to see Allah come in shadows of clouds? I don't know what Surah Baqarah 2:10 means. In the parable of those who disbelieve, follow what Allah has revealed. They say, nay, we follow what we found our fathers upon. What? And though their fathers had no sense at all, nor did they follow the right way. Surah Baqarah 170. So I've taken this from Sayyid Amar Shah on what is the article? The disbelievers. So you look at all this. Allah has set a seal upon their hearts and upon their hearing, because they don't want to listen. And there are some people who say we believe in Allah in the last day, and they are not at all believers. These are hypocrites. They desire to deceive Allah and those who believe, and they deceive only themselves and those who believe. They desire to deceive Allah and those who believe. This is the verse I've been on also, that this Prophet Muhammad was the one who deceived you and the believers. Then let me see this one again. The worshippers of false God. If Allah had so willed, we should not have worshipped out Him. Right? So they're saying that Allah willed that we worship them. Neither we nor our fathers, nor should we have prescribed prohibitions other than His. So did those who went before them. But what is the mission of messengers? But, oh my goodness, I just lost that ayat. So this is happening, some Shia spiritists here. So they say these things, worshippers false gods. 35 ayat. So Aka Mehdi Puya says, mission of the messengers but to preach the clear message. So did those who went before them. But what is the mission of messengers but to preach the clear message? Aka Mehdi Puya says, it is an old excuse of the evildoers to shift the responsibility of their actions to Allah by willfully concealing the fact that He has given a free will to every human being and sent His messengers with true guidance in every age to all peoples. See commentary of Al-Baqarah verse 256 and Yunus 47. For we assuredly sent amongst every people a messenger, serve Allah, with the command, serve Allah and eschew evil. So they're saying whatever they worship besides Allah is evil. And listen to these messengers that we have sent. They're guiding you to the true path, right path, straight path of worshipping Allah and serve Allah. Of the people were some whom Allah guided and some on whom error became inevitably established. So travel through the earth and see what was the end of those who denied the truth. If thou art anxious for their guidance, yet Allah guided not such as He leaves to stray, and there is none to help them. They swear their strongest oaths by Allah that Allah would not raise up those who die. Nay, but it is a promise binding on Him in truth, but most among mankind realize it not. I don't know if, which are these? These are disbelievers. But there were people who believed in reincarnation, even polytheists. Nangabai says, Namaste, greetings, Nangabai. So, this much here, and then we have let's see what we have in Surah Nahl ayat. And the ones who have associated others with Allah have said, if Allah had so decided, in no way would we have worshipped apart from Him anything, neither we nor our fathers. This is the Quran.com for Surah Nahl. And in no way would we have prohibited apart from Him anything whatsoever. Thus did the ones before them perform. So are the messengers entrusted with anything except to deliver the evident proclamation. Surah Nahl, Ayat 35 in Quran.com. You can see the Arabic words. So Allah wronged them not, nay, they wronged their own souls. So here we have again the soul is the problem, where we can, someone can show us properly how to love God and to depart from our souls. How to solve the soul problem. Namely those whose lives the angels take in a state of purity, saying to them, peace be on you, enter you the garden because of the good that you did. So right now we're not on this kind of an ayat. We're on this soul and polities, whether they can worship their gods. Or we find a proper reason in the Quran that says, okay, we shouldn't be worshipping other than Allah, one Allah. Let's see. When those come to thee who believe in our signs, say peace be on you, your Lord hath inscribed for Himself the rule of mercy. Verily, if any of you did evil in ignorance and thereafter repented. So which was that? I think it was jumping up and down before when I was doing some this. When I opened this for another ayat and I cannot find. Thus did we try some of them by comparisons with others. Let me go up. Send not away those who call on the Lord, morning and evening, seeking His face. Now, this is very important, you see. First, we have the soul problem that how can we even recognize the messengers? However, in the Quran, it said that they are, they don't want to come to this one God worship. And the reasons are not right. Excuse me. So these reasons are not given properly. Against them, the polytheists also, and the soul. For the Samiri, it was, you can just, I just, have given you my opinion on this, how I see it, that it's not right. I feel something is missing here. Against the Samiri caste also in Surah Taha, reasons given that my soul inclined to me this, and even the tafsir I don't agree with. So what does it say here? It says Waj Allah. And do not send away those who call their Lord, who are calling their Lord in the morning. Call Yuzu, Yuzuna, Yuzuna. Call their Lord in the morning and the evening, desiring His countenance, wajha, His face, right? Not even like they are calling the Lord morning and evening, desiring Him. So if they are desiring Him, also if it was put like that, they would get Him, right? But the polytheists and those who say Jesus is the Son of God, they say like in Surah Zumar Ayat, that we take them as awliyas, we worship them so that they can bring us to the position of Allah, right? Union with Allah. So when you are reading these signs of Allah, what are they? Revelations. They are signs. Ayats mean signs. Ayah means sign of Allah. So you need some signs here when you are lost. Admonish them and remind them. Now the direction, Qibla was changed. Also that ayat I came across today. Just think how can, like, first we were told the messenger was looking up in the sky, or they were looking up, and then Allah changed the direction of the Qibla for them. And now you face the house of Allah, because Shia say not only that Ismail was born, that Ismail and Abraham made that house, but that Imam Ali was born in that house, Kaaba. That's why it was made pleasing for the messenger, because Imam Ali was born. Not only that it was made by Abraham and Ismail. And there's a hadith which says that Abu Bakr said, I have heard from the Rasulullah that looking at the face of Ali is ibadat, worship. So what is this face of Allah they're seeking? First they're calling on the Lord in the morning and the evening, desiring what? His countenance. This is for the believers. But I'm saying, can this ayat also not be for the polytheists? Please have a look at this. What if, like Ali, he sent Sri Krishna, Ram, with his, attributes. And seeing the face of Ram is like seeing a Brahman or Ishwar. So noteworthy, it doesn't say desiring Allah. It says His countenance. So never ever efface the face of people, because that is the face of Allah. Wherever you see is the face of Allah. So that verse is too terrible. Oh, Ahle Kitab, now believe in what has been sent down to you. Before what was sent down to you, that we efface your faces and turn your backs and curse you. Remember that ayat. So now we have the countenance or the face of Allah, they are desiring. So let's say if they were looking at Abu Jahal, there's a surah on him, may his hands burn. So the polytheists against the polytheists also. It's not just the verses reasonable. I didn't find the Quran ayats reasonable against them. Signs, Qibla, direction is changed. Give this warning to those in whose hearts is the fear that they will be brought to judgment before the Lord. Except for Him, they will have no protector, no intercessor, because they are disbelievers, that they may guard against evil. Okay, here you would say of course they are disbelievers. Say, I tell you, not with me are the treasures of Allah, nor do I know what is hidden, Nor, and here he says this now, the messenger, nor do I tell you I am an angel. I but follow what is revealed to me. Say, can the blind be held equal to the seeing? What kind of, oh, please. So the Samiri saw Jibril and the horse's footprints, if you don't take the tafsir. Or the Quran ayat, where is it, in Surah Qasas or where, that he, God knows if that is there, that Samiri saw Jibril destroying Pharaoh. So, but those who reject our signs, how will you recognize this? And I do not tell you that I've, say, O Muhammad, the depositories containing the provisions of Allah, or that I know the unseen. So if you don't know the unseen, then how are you, it's only revealed. He doesn't know the unseen, right? This problem has come. Do you see this ayat? It's problematic. Nor do I tell you that I am an angel. Of course not, okay? So, because for the Ahle Kitab, there were human beings who came as the guides, Moses, prophets, right? Nor do I tell you that I'm an angel. So that this would not apply to against the Ahle Kitab. But, or that I know the unseen. He doesn't know the unseen. It's just a revelation sent to me. This revelation could have been sent to through Shaitan coming and giving it to someone, a false prophet. So this is a problematic ayat which the Muslims should see and keep into consideration. So how to see if that's a prophet, how to know God, warn, I don't know, and warned by it, those fear that they will be gathered before their Lord. For them besides him will be no protector and no intercessor. I've read this. And then it comes to 52 of Surah Anfal. And do not send away those who call upon their Lord morning and afternoon, seeking his face. Seeking whose face? Allah's face. And then they put i.e. favors or favor. You see, again, a blunder has taken place. There are many mistranslations. We can't trust. There are different people, Muslims taking, taking the Quran like from coming from different schools of thought, taking the Quran in different interpretations, and all this. A mess is there. It's a mess. The Muslims do not see. Why are they in a mess? Because this is in a mess. And thus have we tried some of them through others, that they might say, is it these whom Allah has favored among us? Is not Allah most knowing of those who are grateful? So Allah favors those who are grateful, who believe in Him, who, like Abraham, okay, you would say, even question first using reason. This is not my Allah, this is not my Allah, but these are the signs of Allah. The sun is the sign of Allah, the moon is the sign of Allah. And what about this, seeking the countenance of Allah they desire? They call on Allah morning and evening, seeking His face. Wajha, Wajh Allah, you would say, right? So, can you blame these people then, Surah Anam? Then we go to Surah Zumar. If Allah had intended to take a son, but before this, fourth ayat, third ayat is here. You see, they say unquestionably okay, they don't say this now. Allah is saying unquestionably for Allah is the religion. I hope you can see the number also of the ayat 3, if I forget to give you the number of the ayat. unquestionably for Allah is the religion, the pure, and those who take besides him protectors, not we, they say, not we worship them except that they may bring us near, uh, that they may bring us near to Allah, right? In nearness. Indeed, Allah will judge between them and what they in it differ. Indeed, Allah does not guide one who he is a liar and a disbeliever. They've been blamed for being liars and disbelievers. When they say we worship them, okay, worship word is used, we take them as awliyas, protectors, besides him, not protectors. We worship them, except, let me just get the, unquestionably for Allah is the pure religion. And those who take protectors besides him say we only worship them that they may bring us nearer to Allah in position. Indeed, Allah will judge between them concerning that over which they differ. Indeed, Allah does not guide he who is a liar and a confirmed disbeliever. Now we have a problem here within Surah Ma'idah. It is said, I don't know how the Sunnis take it, but I know how the Shias take it. But here it says, your ally is none but Allah, and therefore his messenger, and those who have believed, those who establish prayer while giving zakah as they bow. Right? This is the Shia way of looking at this. While they bow. They say, no, not end. Here it means while giving zakah and while bowing. In ruku. So it says ruku here. When and the tafsir you can check of the Surah Ma'idah at 55 from the Shia side. So you the Sunnis would say no, and even the Shias would say no, this is not worshipping his messenger. But you have taken allies, Allah, along with Allah, the messenger, and those who believed, right? And so these allies, these awliyas will guide you to what? The truth. But for them, if they say we take them as protectors, immediately it's like they're worshipping them. And of course you have to obey the messenger. So isn't obedience a part of worship? And have we been told, really, what is this worship? You send signs, and honor the animals, and you sent this tabut, and there were relics of the family of Musa. Not even Musa and Harun, but in the tabut were the relics of the family of Musa wa Harun and Harun. Surah Baqarah ayat, I'm forgetting the number of that ayat. So I felt, now I gave my opinion that the only worship Allah alone is not feasible like this, and these ayats, the reasons given and all, are just not feasible. Say, O Prophet, O people of the book, let us come to common terms that we will worship none but Allah, associate none with him, nor take one another as lords instead of Allah. But if they turn away, then say, bear witness that we have submitted to Allah alone. 64. And why did I show you that ayat where it says, you will recognize him as you recognize your sons? Because do you? And is he the father? Is Prophet Muhammad the father of any of your men? No, he's not. But he is nearer to you than your own selves. Now he has secured yourselves, right? So now, should you be fighting against your nafs, O believers? You should be going higher and higher and higher in truth. But that's not what happens to some of the believers. The Muslims, they say, no, no, we can not even call ourselves believers because we have not been good Muslims. So securing the nafs of another, we are told in Surah Azab, the ayat goes, right, that he is closer to the believers than their own selves. Sorry, I just have to put something sweet in my mouth. So, excuse me for that. Sanctifying you. Oh my goodness. Purifies your lives. There's no way that you can now. See, God has sent someone now here in this ayat we are told. Surah Baqarah ayat 151. Purifying you. So once you are purified, you should see, hang on to this religion, right? So, but maybe the policies were also doing this. You know the ones who they love and follow? Not even idol worshippers, maybe like their lineage of imamat, like gurus, masters, you know those. Dr. Brian Weiss has written that book, Many Masters, Many Lives, Many Masters. So it's not only him, it could be the polytheist too. And I couldn't find a reasonable verse that made me believe that worshipping, let's say I become devoted. What is worship? I become devoted to a sign of Allah, like a rock or something. Although even Hindus don't say this, because I heard Sadhguru saying that we have to consecrate the linga and all this, right? Let's say, like Paramahamsa Vishwananda recently said, like you don't worship. Worship the perfect God, but not through his, the creation, imperfections you would not worship. But I tell you, there were this signs, these are imperfect. You look at the sky. What is the sky? Sometimes the sky is translated as heaven. Is the sky imperfect? Look how he's created the sky without pillars, you can see. Heaven, heavens, 7 heavens. So then, you see, I still say that you can worship devoted to a stone, and that this stone I'm devoted to, right? Oh God, I'm taking this stone and I'm devoted to it in your name, in your, desiring your face. One day you will come here, show me your face. Or something like this. I'm worshipping this stone, but to, worship you. I'm devoted to this stone to worship you. What's wrong in that? What is wrong in that? Huh? It's imperfect. So now when you've changed the qibla, please know, they have, each one has their own qibla. It states they have a qibla, right? And you have a qibla. You have a qibla. is this Qibla they have. It is imperfect and your Qibla is perfect. You would be wishing every day 5 times, how many times then, that your sujood is perfect and that your Qibla is also perfect. Every day you say, I want to do wuzu in the most perfect way. Where is it? What verse? From Surah? The Qibla status of the Kaaba and the sacred mosque. Surah Baqarah ayat 144, 149 and 150, which contains a command to turn your face toward the sacred mosque. We see you off turning your face towards the sky. Now we are turning you to the direction that will satisfy you. Turn your face towards the holy mosque. And wherever you are, turn your faces towards it in prayer. So you see, this way is the perfect way, Surah Baqarah, to worship Allah. The perfect Allah, God, 144. Indeed, we see you, Prophet. Let me see the verses above and, before this verse and below, after this verse. So they have a Qibla, don't they? Thus have we made of you an ummah justly balanced, that you might be witnesses over the nations, and the messenger a witness over yourselves. And we appointed the Qibla to which thou was used, only to test those who followed the messenger from those who would turn on their heels. Indeed, it was a change, momentous, except to those guided by Allah. It was a change, momentous change. Test. And never would Allah make your faith of no effect. For Allah is to all people most surely full of kindness, most merciful. We have certainly seen the turning of your face, O Muhammad, toward the heaven, and we surely turn you to a Qibla with which. So before that, Prophet Muhammad was looking in the sky, up in the sky, towards the sky. And he will surely turn you to a Qibla with which you will be pleased. So turn your face toward Masjid al-Haram, and wherever you believers are, turn your faces toward it. Indeed, those who have been given the scripture well know that it is the truth from their Lord. Really? And Allah is not unaware of what they do. So if you, come Hindu gurus, I invite you. But if you brought to those who were given the scripture every sign, they would not follow your Qibla, nor will you be a follower of their Qibla. They also have a Qibla direction. So you need direction here to worship God. A Qibla you need. Qiblai. Right? My beloved, my Qibla. Let's say if I say they will kill me. If I start to really sing that song. Chal chaiya, 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 chaiya. So remember and they would not follow your Qibla, nor will you be a follower of their Qibla, nor would they be followers of one another's Qibla. Really? Okay. So if you were to follow their desire, wait a minute, nor would they be followers of one another's Qibla. They're disunited, forget them. So you are uniting them, you've put a direction of worship for obligatory prayers. So, but please don't stop those who are calling onto Allah. Why are you stopping them? Desiring Allah's face. Maybe it come in the rock I worship, right? To Nanga, brother, anything else you have to say, either? So you would say, for the soul that he purifies you. Prophet Muhammad purifies your soul, yourselves, right? He purified you, sit and not to worry. Then that may be like Hindu guru purifying you, telling you to meditate, and the guru, I will take care, says to you, his disciples. That is not so what is wrong in, their way of worship? They all want to reach that one God, that highest union with Allah, right? It's not only you Muslims. Then why they worship? Some worship shaitan, they say, right? So, do you mean to say that if some worship shaitan, taghut, it is the intention, but you can't apply this to the polytheists? They know not that they worship shaitan. Their intention is that they worship Allah, Bhagwan. And Bhagwan come to them in human form. Bhagwan, their priests can consecrate. Their gurus, sadgurus can consecrate murtis, idols for them to worship. Keep in their homes. What is wrong in that? Now you can't apply that some people, no, the people worship shaitan. So what do you say about those people who worship shaitan? So this Quran ayat says that they worship taghut. But they think that no, they worship Allah, and they say that it is if Allah willed, if Allah had told us. But Allah did not tell us. Where's that ayat again? I have to, maybe I lost it, but if had Allah willed, we would not have worshipped them, nor would we have made laws. Had Allah willed. So they are saying that, they said that, and it's in the Quran ayat. We would not have worshipped. Worshipped or taken them as awliyas. What is the difference? Quran ayat. Come on, please tell me. Nangabai, you know the meaning? You have worked it out? If Allah say, if Allah had willed, we would not have worshipped anything other than Him. Yes, and those who associate others with Allah say, sorry, not Allah say, I'm not very bad, careless. Ooh, isn't it careless love? Ooh, had to be you and me. Asteria, when you need. My teacher, Miss Asteria Desa the Great, she died in year 2000. Now tell me, if Allah, they are saying if Allah had willed, they're not saying that if shaitan had willed. So even the a Shia commentary make me want to leave Islam. Not make sense to me. Why are you being so bad with them? Is it just to say this kind of a thing? No. They are saying, Papa, how blue can they get in the face or red? No, red is anger. They're telling you. But no, these are hypocrites. Those who associate others with Allah say, if Allah had willed, you can just not get it. You Muslims, Shias and Sunnis, or others. Ismailis also come. Now, Dr. Khalil Andani is working on the exegesis of the Quran, tafsir and hadith and all this. Until he completes that, I'm giving you this, then you can go to Dr. Khalil Andani, the Ismaili. Let's see when we will get his tafsir. He's a PhD from Harvard University. And Ismaili. We're waiting for Dr. Khalil Andani's tafsirs on Quran and Hadiths. Surah Nahl, sorry. What number? 35. You see this? Nor would we have forbidden anything through other than him. Thus did those do before them. What did they do? Thus did those do before them. So is there upon the messengers except the clear notification, the duty of, excuse me, are the messengers charged with aught save plain conveyance of the message? What reason is this? I not get it. Sorry, I have to lighten up because then I get very angry. Because my heart bleeding, and those, I feel something is wrong here. Am I wrong, or are you Muslims? Am I wrong in seeing this ayat? Like, what is this? Sorry, maybe you can explain it. Oh my goodness. Surah Nahl, ayat 35. Surah Nahl, ayat 35. So your one God give you Kaaba, give you direction, Qibla, give you animals to honor at the time of Hajj, pilgrimage, put garlands on them, honor them. He tell you Moses' family and Harun's family have relics in the tabut. Angels carry, and there is Sakina. The polytheists argue, had Allah willed, neither we nor our forefathers would have worshipped anything other than Him. Right? Nor prohibited anything without His command. So did those before them. Is not the messenger's duty only to deliver the message clearly? You see what did it mean here? What? But the evil results of their deeds overlooked them, and that very wrath at which they had scoffed hemmed them in. So, are you saying, do the ungodly wait until the angels come to them, or there comes the command of thy Lord for their doom? So did those who went before them, but Allah wronged them not. Nay, they wronged their own souls. Again, problem nafs, souls. So they were struck by the evil consequences of what they did and were enveloped by what they used to ridicule. 35. And those who associate others with Allah say, if Allah had willed, these are the associators, mushriq, the polytheists. And those who associate others with Allah say, if Allah had willed, we would not have worshipped anything other than Him. Right. So they know that Allah wills that they associate with Him and worship those. Neither we nor our fathers, nor would we have forbidden anything through other than Him. Thus did those do before them. So is there upon the messengers except the clear notification. And we certainly sent into every nation a messenger, worship Allah and avoid Taghut. Right? So now that verse is carried on saying that polytheists, messenger duty was to tell you the truth, and you are saying that but I'm telling you that the revelation that has come to me says that only worship Allah and avoid Taghut, and you tell me that it goes on. Ping pong. Tuk, 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 tuk. Sometimes the ball is here, sometimes the ball is there. We don't know reason. Not the proper given. And among them were those whom Allah guided. And among them were those upon whom error was deservedly decreed. So have we not sent the proper message to you, associates, with Allah? No, God. Not that I see it. Do you see it? Nanga bhai? आपको दिखने में आता है? मुझे तो नहीं आता. So thank you very much. This was my introduction again. I hope I've done some little bit of justice. So आप लोग please like, share sparingly. Tell the Muslims you're one God, and not only like what authority sent what. Even polytheists have authority. Right? Your Qibla, there are signs here. So even these poor, Allah, bichare polytheists, don't forget this ayat. The worshippers of false gods say, if Allah had so willed, we should not have worshipped out but Him. Neither we nor our fathers, nor should we have prescribed prohibitions other than His. Now the answer given is so arrogant and without the reason really. And they are told, in the Shia commentary also, that they are lying. They worship false gods and they say this is Allah who, He asked us to worship these gods. Look at the Arabic, word by word. Let's see if it comes precise, accurate. More accurate than the translations. And said those associate partners with Allah and said those who associate partners with Allah, if Allah had willed, not we would have worshipped other than Him, anything, shayan, we, and not our forefathers, and not we would have forbidden other than Him anything. Thus did those who were before them, then is there on the messengers except the conveyance clear? And that they worship Taghut now, the next 36 ayat. So you see, anything we would have worshipped with ibadat. ये कौन रोकेगा मुझे सजदे करने के लिए? हाँ? I do sajda to my beloved. दिल करता है प्यार के सजदे और मैं भी. That the Indian song coming, old. Raj Kapoor and the Nargis, चोरी चोरी. दिल करता है प्यार के सजदे और मुझे सजदे करने पे कौन रोकेगा अपने beloved के प्यार के. Like that, right? So thank you very much. It has been 1 hour now. I always take a very long time. I hope you Muslims, it opened your eyes. We are discovering here, I should have put Quran, Ayat, Unjust to Samiri and the more. Or let's discover if these Quran ayats are unjust to Samiri and his soul or not, and his nazar. Kya dekha? What he saw? He saw Jibreel. What inclined? His soul inclined. You will look at the tafsir and say, yes, he was a hypocrite. You will read this ayat and say, yes, these are worshippers of false gods, liars, who associate with Allah. You see what fitna against them? Unreasonable, unjust fitna. In the Quran ayats against the polytheists also. And the Samiri caste also. And their gurus cannot purify them. Their awliyas cannot purify them, you say. Quran ayats. But you have not given a very good reason beyond all reasonable doubts that we can believe in this Quran and say that this messenger is a true messenger, and surely we should not associate anyone with Allah or take anyone as associates other than Allah. But this Quran ayat where even Shias and Sunnis in ikhtilaf, conflict, Shias say no. Because you see, it's implied, it's there that you are worshipping, you are associating the messenger with Allah. After Allah, you say, and Surah Fatah at 9, and obeying Allah, obeying the messenger is paramount, equivalent to obeying Allah. The verse, it is there in the Quran. Then where do we go? Where it is Shia, Surah Araf ayat 31 or 33 is it? Tell them, O Muhammad, my Lord has only forbidden indecent acts, whether overt or hidden, all manner of sin, wrongful transgression, haram, yani haram. And he has forbidden that you associate with Allah and his divinity that for which he has sent down no sanction, permission, authority, and that you ascribe to Allah things of which you know not, okay? So I don't go in the ayat. Now you say we not to worship this. I show you Surah Taqweer ayat. You say we do not worship this, but he's obeyed in the high realm. Angels, high realm, where is that? He's with the throne of, he's with Allah. Surah Taqweer, why am I saying Taqweer, sorry. So I'm now too tired. But let me just leave you with this. He who is possessed of power other than Allah, right? And or he's possessed of power with the owner of the throne, secure in position. And you see the next ayat. So please be just, be honest, and we are discovering here, right, unbiased, unprejudiced. Kaltoffer has come. Hello, Kaltoffer. God bless you, sister. God bless you too. Wishing you the best of health and luck. Thank you so much. Same to you. How are you doing, Kaltoffer? Ah, do you see this, what I say 1 hour ago? Have you listened? Please listen to it. And see, correct me if I'm wrong. Kaltoffer, did you see that where I go wrong with your Bible? God bless you too, Kaltoffer. I wish you the best, the truth. Be truthful, please. That is the best. And I wish you good, perfect health. How are your eyes? And all, hope they're doing great. Have carrots. Carrot juice if you, For your eyes, my mother found out very good carrot vitamin. Doing very good. Thank God. That's great. And what I say to you last time, that this Jesus, you not to say, I am come to, not for the Muslims, right? You get that? Did you correct yourself? Did you get that? What I say? So please do that. Correct yourself. And what else, Kaltoffer? Any questions, Nanga Bhai? Kaltoffer? No reason given good enough to go, not to make a rock, to devote yourself, worship it. Your intention here, good. If your heart, in your heart, you say, I worship that one Allah, but through this rock. And whether imperfect rock, and you worship, I was in and out, I will rewatch. Oh, okay, you were in and out, I see. Okay, so let me not make it lengthy, right? For Kaltoffer to rewatch and see. Please, Kaltoffer, if you find it good, right? And this for the justice, truth, for the polytheists, for those who worship other things, thinking that even if this imperfect, but it's a creation of Allah. Glory be to God. God will one day accept my worship of this, the sky or the rock. Because we seek the face of Allah, desiring the face of Allah, we call on Allah. So, how direct are you calling on Allah? You have to go through yourself or through something. So how great is it to worship Allah through His beloved or His creation, imperfect though you say, but to worship that perfect God. Is it a sin? And also remember intention. Will Allah not accept my worship? So look here from St. Joseph's College. One word from my book, a poetry book. One word. Too often profaned for me to profane it. So since it is Happy Valentine's Day to you all, I hope you celebrate I hope you celebrate love every day, because love is larger than life. Shelley, P.B. Shelley, my favorite. This poor guy, P.B. Shelley, I know what my mother's relative tell me, analysis in St. Joseph's College, Zahra, Miss Zahra Habib Mohsin, uncle's daughter. But I never tell her in college, hello, yeah, my mother knows that, this, that. Lady that had this heart of mine. Princey, where my Princey? She gone? One word is too often profaned. But this happening is so many advertisements. Let us go to another one now. Where's the poem? Mahadev, Mahadev. Oh, no, 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 thank you. Again, this wrong thing happened to me. So you see, love is such a thing. One word, love take you to the divine. One word, too often profaned for me to profane it. But will you not accept that the hearts? P.B. Shelley. Let's go to Wikipedia. No. Let's go to poetryfoundation.org. Now I leave you with this, hopefully. If anyone else come here, any questions, then I cannot leave you. But if, let's see, my energy leaving me, then I have to leave you. One word is too often profane for me to profane it. One feeling too falsely disdained for thee to disdain it. One hope is too like despair for prudence to smother, and pity from thee more dear than that from another. I can give not what men call love, but wilt thou accept not the worship the heart lifts above, and the heavens reject not the desire of the moth for the star. Indian song coming from Indian movie. क्षमा कहे परवाने से परे चला जा, मेरी तरह जल जाएगा, यहाँ नहीं आ, वो नहीं रहता उसको, whatever. So sorry, I forgot. Kaltoffer says, sister, did you read about the Pakistani, whatever now, man that was arrested and burnt alive for blaspheming? Yes, a Christian man, right? About 5 or 4 days. No, days ago. Again. Oh my God, I think I should hide also somewhere. I not want to be killed now. Because Allah, I want to, Allah, this terrible. No. Burn. Sorry, excuse me, called off a Pakistani man. No, I cannot. Very, very, very tragic. There's also the earthquakes and all. I don't know what to say about all that. Yeah, this is so arrested and burned alive by whom? The police? The law authorities? So this is extremely tragic again to hear this. What do you think we should do, Kaltoffer? What do you think should be done about this to stop this kind of cruelty? Why are these people? Yesterday you weren't here, and this is Ahmadi Mosque. Someone told me here broken, and oh my goodness! Again, this jahilat and unbelievers would say, right? So Surah Fussilat that bring them, we will crush them under our feet. This is not the way to protect your prophet and your religion. Why can you not get it? Violence is not the way. If you want to prove that Pakistani man, if you want to prove your religion is true, you can not do this through violence. Somehow my hand's not working properly now. I have very little energy. Oh, blasphemy. Oh, God. Sorry. Angry mob 4 days ago. What did he do? Grabbed a blasphemy suspect from his cell? Oh God, I wish. Make sure the whole world knows about it and stop this cancer from spreading further. Yes, Pakistan mob beat man to death over blasphemy allegations. A mob of youngsters beat a Muslim man, their own Muslim man, to death in Pakistan on Saturday after the victim was accused of blasphemy. Oh, no, I'm not going there. My thing will pop. Beyond Pakistan. Pakistan mob lynches man. Please, can someone stop this? Yes, so there was Haris Sultan, Ghalib Kamal on YouTube. There are others, Westerners, who helped Asia Bibi also. In Pakistan, angry, CBS News. Oh my goodness, hundreds of Muslims descended on a police station in Pakistan's eastern Punjab province Saturday. Snatched, just a minute please, snatched his suspect from his cell and took him, snatched a blasphemy suspect from his cell. Like they've taken the law and order in their hands and took him outside and lynched him, police said. Even the police could not do anything. Senior police officer Babar Sarfaraz Alpa said a man identified only as Waris, Waris jo tera hota koi jahan mein. You know, Waris is like Sahara, it means. Dependent, you know, like codependency, being dependent on someone God sent, Waris, guardian for you. Oh my goodness. Had been in police custody for desecrating pages of a copy of Islam's holy book, the Quran. Ooh. He said Waris pasted images of himself, his wife, and a knife on several pages of the book, displayed them and threw them about in the rural district of Nankana. Charges of blasphemy carry the death penalty under Pakistani law. In a senior police officer, by the time police reinforcement could reach the scene, the mob lynched the man and were about to burn his body. But police, with the help of saner people in the area, foiled their attempt, he said. This, they didn't. They stopped. The police have stopped. Finally, they didn't burn him alive, called Toffer. Area foiled their attempt. Pakistan has seen religious attacks proliferate since the Pakistani Taliban or Tehreek-e-Taliban in Pakistan gained strength since the Afghan Taliban retook control of the neighboring country in August 2021. I really sometimes also feel like when I read about slave girls, this Prophet Muhammad not touching my daughter. I don't know how way and all, right? It reach my limit. My voltage go on, toon, 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 siren, and I become they tell me here that what if they give me my mind give me a scenario that what if your mommy, oh, I not have a scream, right? Was so what if my daughter was Jawaria? That now you find out that he's not a true prophet. But even if he was a true prophet, now you find out there were slave girls and what they do in the war, captives, taking them as captives, and then he married them. And I see Kolthofer, have you seen this? So I think he was saved. Then what happened? Killing almost 60 people. A Pakistani told me he was burned, but it looks like he was wrong. Well, we not to know. I see if a Pakistani there told you, then maybe this news, because there were some 60 people. In Jan, the group took responsibility for a suicide bomber attack inside a mosque, backed with Pakistani police. And then, what is this? So my mind now not working on news and everything, just that maybe he's right, maybe this news is wrong, we don't know. Can you believe it? We don't know if a life was burnt or saved by the police. So maybe let's think the more positive one. So on YouTube we have this. I just went berserk seeing the face of Safia and Safia. So there's this channel, Asli, Nabi Asli. Nabi Asli channel. He has these animated movies and you can, right? Nabi Asli. Prophet Muhammad, the idol destroyer, Prophet Muhammad. And I just couldn't take it anymore. It's on Safia, where is it? Muslim wife obligation. You see this? Guide for a Muslim wife. Prophet Muhammad and his apostate scribe Abdullah ibn Abi Sarah. You know what he do here? We are shown from the tafsirs or the hadiths that he put a spell on Zaid and he was not able to perform anymore with Zainab bin Josh since Prophet Muhammad had visited their house. Kalthofer says, I don't know, but it's satanic either way. Either way meaning? Yes, even if he was a prophet, right? It would be satanic. You mean? Islam, false religion, exposed documentary sword. Where is the Tasafia? Our body is not for sale. The Islamic psycho one, the death of this one. Muhammad और सफ़िया की कहानी. There's more in English also. You don't want to see, I mean, you are a Christian, you could take this, but I couldn't take it. Even though, and as an ex-Muslim, I just went berserk and did some things here. So Muhammad, if because Yazid never touched Hussein's daughters like that, like he has touched the slave girls of his time. Chief Joweria, Safia, and and it's like how long did Safia survive? Her whole tribe was killed. There's see more videos of his on Safia. So may he be safe. I just had to correct his this thing on the Quran ayat. But now I tell you, Kolthofer, I take the Sunni hadiths. I don't believe in the Prophet's family, their prejudice and all that. He gave Fadak to Fatima, peacefully the Jews gave him. Baba lived peacefully, such a beautiful land they gave him. They worked on it. And he wants to apply his religion and this and that. What he do to the Baduans and Surah Fat, we are told. Make them, face such army. So would you allow this? Like, I wouldn't, even in the Bible, if it comes about slave girls. I mean, it's a man's religion. What you are doing? So now at least the Jews say that in war, these captives, women were taken captives to say, they would warn them that, look, we're going to take your women captives, so better not have war. Peace is better. And then they would make them bald and marry them like that, or take them as slave girls. So a month, they would give them a month of grieving or something. Maybe here in Islam it's 3 months iddah. I don't know. But I wonder for the slave girls what it is. Since in Surah Nisa, there is a ayat which says that if you have fear, okay, fast, this and that. Surah Nisa ayat for men, if you have fear of fornication. But if you cannot marry believing women, right? What Allah provide for you? Marry a believing woman. So there's a different rule here for these, you see, and prohibited are the ones who are married. No, this 20, I could have gone in that, but anyways, here we go. So, I mean, this is terrible in Pakistan. I hope the police have saved them. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I really hope that he hasn't been burnt. Can you please verify this news? Ask your Pakistani friend again that has he really been burnt? But there is a news, tell him, and then let me know, please. Thank you so much. And whoever among you cannot find the means to marry free believing women, and whoever among you cannot find the means to marry free believing women, then he may marry from those whom your right hands possess of believing slave girls. Shias cannot deny that these are what your right hands possess are the slave girls. Wait a minute. Marry from what possess your right hands of Fatayatikum, your slave girls. Aimanakum, what your right hands possess of the believers. Malaikat, no, it doesn't say slave girls, but it says what your right hands possess. Fata, what this word?
فتياتكم.
Fatayatikum. Fatayatikum. I read they arrested 50 from that mob. Oh, great, great. 50 people. My goodness. Thank God the police are working well in Pakistan. That's great. I hope his family is safe and all. Fatayatikum. Slave girls. The believers of Allah. Of the believers of Allah. Slave girls. Right? Now what your right hands of your slave girls. Yatim. No. Yatikum. So, of believers, and Allah knows best about your faith. So if you cannot afford this, and in the end it is say fear, but fast and everything, but you can use these slave girls what your right hands possess for your fear. If you can't, even through fasting, patience, like it say, keep patience, but keep patience, it is better for you. And Allah is forgiving and merciful, and even their punishment is less. Okay, so their punishment, according to what is acceptable, they should be chaste, neither of those who commit unlawful intercourse randomly, nor those who take secret lovers. But once they are sheltered in marriage, if they should commit adultery, then for them is half the punishment for free unmarried women. So you can use these women, and yet these poor Mormon slave girls are happy that, oh, if we commit the adultery, but you know what they are using, the punishment for us is half. But they're not marrying them because they love them or something. Yes, they've given them the shelter of marriage, well put, but in fact it is but this allowance is for him among you who fears affliction. Now you read the tafsir and I couldn't get it. These kind of ayats, like what is going on here? So I had to take recourse to the tafsir of Shias and Sunnis and all this, right? Footnote. Pakistan, the police are getting better. Thank God for that. And this is very tragic again. Let's see. Some improvement has come, and I hope he's not burnt. So please verify and find out if he was burnt or not, and let me know when I come here again. If you are here, sorry to trouble you with this. Okay, thank you so much, Call to Offer. Wish you all the best. Anything more? Any more questions or anything? Sorry, I cannot talk on this more than what I've done now. And I have to go and feel like I have no, I can't take this anymore. So, this thing is not good for my mental health, I realized. I got angry at a Christian and I was shouting and all this. I think there are better ways. I wish I could have taken it. So I realized that I come here and I also cannot take, it's very taxing on me, very heavy. But I try to keep that's why maybe I sound very, tough and hard-hearted. I'll go in pain now. I'll be lying down in pain. I can't take this. It's very, very tough. I can't do much. Can't go out much or even order my grocery. Sometimes it's so painful. So restlessly and in pain, I do quickly my stuff, which is not good. Sister, is the Asbab al-Nasul for the Sunni only? Oh, that I wouldn't know, sorry. What is this Asbab al-Nasul? Slave girls? Whatever it is, for the Sunnis, Asbab al-Nuzul, occasions or circumstances of revelation, a historical context in which Quran verses were revealed from the perspective of traditional Islam. Asbab al-Nuzul. Oh, let's see. No, the Shias also take some verses. The Shias also say take some verses in context, but a lot of is from the Sunni Umayyad sources. If you're saying that this Asbab al-Nuzul is like reading the Quran ayats in context also, is that so, taking the hadiths? Then the Shias do a thorough research, they've said, and some hadiths need, like historical and all explanations. So they take it from other Islamic sources and the Imams also. But Kitab Asbab al-Nuzul, Book of Occasions of Revelation. No, this is from the Sunni side. This is not from the Shia side. Yes, this Asbab al-Nusul is for the Sunnis only, but the Shias refer to the Islamic sources and see whether what the Quran says and how they do the research is different. Yes, but this is from the Sunni, as far as I know. I'm not sure, but this is not I've never heard in Shia Islam. This is not Shia Islam. But what do you? I use it because it explains why the yes, yes. This is from the Sunni sources. Asbab al-Nuzul. I think it's Sunni. It is definitely Sunni. Yeah. It is. I think so too. It is Sunni. Sayuti and Ibn Kathir and the history and uh, narratological. All this. But I don't know what the Shias do with this. But you see, the Shias have looked at the other hadiths, Sunni tafsirs, Tabari, and some hadiths they say they accept that this was accepted by Tabari and this and that if it's for Imam Ali or something like that, right? So that they accept. But this is entirely like the Sunni style, right? Which means cause or reason, occasion, and nuzul, the verb. Maybe it's taken also by but this is used mostly like even the name Asbab al-Nuzul, maybe. Let's see what the Shia say about Asbab al-Nuzul. I haven't done this Asbab. It's not even important for me as where and the Ismailis are different, so the Shias have failed. Asbab al-Nuzul, Shia. What do the Shia say about this? Shia. Let me see. They call it Sabab al-Nuzul, and it's plural Asbab al-Nuzul, yes, or Shan-e-Nuzul. In Quranic studies means the time, context, cause, and the situation in which Allah has revealed verses. No, the verses in Surah. So even the Dhul Qarnayn, this is from the Shia side, Wicked Shia. Yeah, it's like the how all this method is used by the Shias also, but remember the Sunnis have their different sources. Shias, but the Shias may use Shias can use the Sunni sources, Islamic sources, life of Prophet Muhammad and all this. And what in Quranic studies means the time, context, cause, and the situation in which Allah has revealed verses. Yes. So the Shias also have this. Now, what would you like to ask? What's the other benefits of study? So the Shias also have al-Suyuti counts the benefits of the study of Sabab al-Nuzul, recognition of the reason of the revelation of the verses. Yeah, so for Surah Nur Ayat, I departed because you see here the Shias would say that it's for a particular person, this ayat, but it's you see this is not right. You see, Shias would say read this in context now, right? And the Shias so they can't depart from this, like, yeah, their way is too great, you see. Read this in context, that this so I did this in my previous live stream. And do not compel your slave girls to prostitution if they desire chastity. So I said that this is in context here. The Shias would say this, right? Now I had to do my head banging with the Shias about this. I'm telling the Shias that in context, if God is saying this, could he not say that prostitution is just do not prostitute them, right? But this God wants to tell you in context that there was a certain person. Okay, there was a certain person. You give the okay, you've given this in context, right? Then say that prostitution is not allowed. When you are bringing out the context in which some slave girls, but this thing is wrong because it says, now how to read this? Through the Imams we take it, or through the Sunni hadiths, and which Sunni hadiths we have to seep out are true, right? So I know you're pointing at someone who's been forcing these slave girls into prostitution. Very, very good, right? For you, Shias. And Sunnis also, like Allah, that in those Jahilat years, in those Jahilat years, there was Abdullah ibn Ubay, who used to compel the slave girls into prostitution when they didn't even wish to be prostitutes. So he wants to point out how also that you see, you read the Quran import, and you see how unfair the ayats are against the polytheists, against the Jews of their time. Sister, you know much more about Shia than I do, because I was a Shia, but I don't know that much. I'm just discovering how disgusting it is, how unfair they can be to the polytheists. Even I didn't know. As a Shia, I was told that you can do your research. There was nothing about. I wasn't told that if you leave your religion, that there will be this punishment on you. No, no. Call Toffer. I think you know more about Shia Islam than I know, because I was deceived. It was like when there is peace, when all avenues of peace are closed, then Imam Hussein got up. Oh God, okay. So you see, then what about that ayat? Believe in what has been sent down before you. We efface your faces, or we efface your faces. Believe in what has been sent down before this, right? That we efface your faces, turn your backs. Are you saying read that in context to those poor uh, Jews and Christians of his time? Like Salahuddin said, and God punishes, so he punishes. The end is good, he will send you to paradise. Yes, but you know more about the inner workings. No, don't know anything now. I don't think I know anything. I just know the lies I was told. I can see the lies I was told. No, I don't know the technical ways, and I didn't go to Qom to study this nonsense. Thank God I didn't waste my time studying someone else's book. Right? So, um, you may have a nice Shia friend or something, right? Family. So, or when you go to Qom, the religious scholars will be really nice with you. And maybe because you're a Christian, you're going to be disgusted with polytheists. Even in your books, it is written against the polytheists, idol worshippers. I thank God I didn't. You see, so, but the Shias will find their way. They're very, very clever, very cunning. Intelligence, the intellectual is like very cunning. They will find their way. And martyrdom, they've given themselves Hussein to cry on, you know, appealing to the sympathies and all this of people. We're very peaceful. Hussein stands for humanity. Hussein is for all. So these such emotionally blackmailed people, and with their intellect, Imam Ali has given them such a sharp satanic intellect, sword with that, sharp Zulfiqar. two ways. It kills us, two birds with one stone. So the Shias, some of them, I found them very, very stubborn, very stubborn. They're so brainwashed. They're not going to look at what I say here. You see, God should, okay, He's trying to, this is for all times, this Quran, right? We were told. If you look at the Shia way also, that the Quran ayats are for all time, they stand for all time. And also, yes, read it in context. Only Imam Ali can kill those who blaspheme and all this, so their marjas will decide if they would want to kill me or not, or confine me to my house. No, most of my Muslim friends are Sunni and they are becoming Quran only fast, trying to avoid the embarrassing hadiths. I see. Okay. No, but here I feel that the Shias also, uh, the, if we take the Shia way of Asbab al-Nuzul here, right? You know more than I do. But the thing is that those people who say we know, do they really know? I mean, can I, if Ayatollah Sistani, you know who I'm up against? Ali Sistani, Sayyid Ali Sistani. Official website. Huh? And then Tabatabai, Allama Tabatabai. And Allama Khoi, Tabai. Muhammad Hussain Tabatabai. Exegesis of the Quran. Shias will put me in the, like, you don't know about Asbab Nuzul, called Hoffer knows so much. Even the Sunnis, who are you, right? To tell us about this verse in Surah Nur. Oh, goodness. So, anyways, let the Shias have their own way. They're very stubborn. I can't even show them this. They will give me all these exegesis, which fail. I read Aqab Medipuya exegesis of the Quran ayats. Doesn't make sense. So, some of the exegesis and the commentaries don't make sense. Surah Nur ayat. Let's take this one, for example. There are others, but I will take this one. I'll show you here. Allah could have written this in a better way. Okay, address the one in context, the person who was doing this. And since he's mentioned forced prostitution, like he's mentioning the context, so then also don't be lazy, like mention that prostitution is haram. Right? Forbidden. So there would be no doubt then. No doubt in this ayat, this part. Okay, they say don't force your women, be chaste and all this. All of a sudden, he comes to like then give them the also this. Where the Shias say that ayat, ransom, giving, you sell your slave to free the slave, right? So that's a good deed. So Islam abolished all slavery slowly, slowly, gradually. I hear you, sister. It's confusing. I don't know if you hear me or not or what, but you see, God could have, God the All Knowing. And then he says here, Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. So I don't know. They say that, the girl doesn't know whether her God has forgiven her because she was forced into prostitution. Like the pre Islamic years were such dark ages of ignorance that the girl wouldn't know. Like one came here and told me that, will they forgive me because let's say I've gone to a prostitute. But I stopped. I stopped going to a prostitute. Let's say a man, went to a prostitute. And they didn't find out. But then I stopped and they found out. Now I've stopped. But I don't know. I don't know if God will forgive me or not. Islam has to tell me. Islam has to tell me because I'm in such ignorance that Islam has to tell me after that compulsion, forgiving. Allah is forgiving and merciful. Forgiving, I don't understand. Merciful, I can understand. Okay, so this way they satisfy themselves that our religion is true. Allah has told them that no, you were forced into prostitution. Like there was no one to tell them that if you're raped, it's not your fault. Right? It's not your fault. If something is forced on you, it's not your fault. It's logic. Right? Even in pre-Islamic times, there must be some logic. I think we have some Greek logic in pre-Islamic times also, right? Greek logic. We have some sayings of Aristotle and Plato and all this Greek logic. So like they wouldn't even know that God has not, but now God, yes, this Islam came. It's like going round and round in circles with the Shias. And do not compel your slave girls to prostitution if they desire chastity. Now I thought that God was saying to all, for all times, right? But the Shias turn it around and say this was meant for a particular time, place, and person. But the verse addresses only forced prostitution. Yes, but like you mentioned, Azhar, that in some verses it is only for that time, for that man who forced them, for these slave girls of that time. Right? No. This verse may be for rape. But it only stands true. They will, Asbab al-Nuzul saves them. So if you had to make it for all times, with context to that time also, and for all times, what would you do? What would Allah do? Allah would say that, and do not compel your slave girls to prostitution, nor if they desire chastity, and if they don't desire chastity, even then do not compel, do not prostitute your slave girls. to seek thereby the temporary interests of worldly life. So that would make it universal. This verse would be, I would have stood up and said, Salwat, right? So, context for that time and for it until there we are here, until humans are in this world, until there's a world. You see, on one hand, they say Quran is for all times. Then they say, they depart from that, and then they say it's at times for some, that time, or, so it should be for that time and for all times. Christopher Machoko is here. Hello, Christopher Machoko. Christopher Machoko says, how do we see the light at the end of the tunnel? If we were to go by this religion teachings, we see how do we see the light at the end of the tunnel? What do you mean by this? What light? If we're to go by the religion, this religion teaching. Sorry, can you put it in simpler words? What are you trying to tell me, Christopher Machoko? Your sins can be forgiven if you accept Allah and the Messenger. You will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Right? You just check your Bible. Muhammad Ahmad name is there. You take that. And your sins will be forgiven here. It says in the Allah loves the good doers and all this, righteous people, men and pious. So you will see the light of at the end of the tunnel in every religion. In Christianity, like if you accept Jesus as your Savior, you will see the light, right, at the end of the tunnel. Maybe not here, in this life. And maybe if you follow Ismaili Imam, His Highness Aga Khan, you will see lots of lights at every milestone. You progress in this life. There's so much light with His Highness Aga Khan. Jesus is not even here. And there's forgiveness in this religion. If you obey Allah, and you have nothing to fear. Nor the Christians, nor the Jews, nor the Magians, nor the Sabians, nor the polytheists. There's another ayat with which if Salahuddin will come and give you. There's peace. Those who say Allah is, and with your example, good, repel evil with what is good. Your enemy will become your bosom friend. So in that way, there's a lot of light in this religion. But at the end of the day, it's all Lucifer light. Because it says my ways, right? And it doesn't give reasons beyond, ayats and the way it, logical reason beyond reasonable doubt. How do you say it? Evidence, proof beyond reasonable doubt. These ayats don't give me. These are ayats, and their reason should be so well put. that those are false gods. And you followed Moses. Moses has said, follow him. The soul, you can't believe in your soul. But if you believe in Prophet Muhammad, there's a lot of light. The disbelievers are telling the believers, give us your light. There's a lot of light in Surah Taghabun. It is said, this is the light. Allah is the light. Did your Bible say Allah is the light? I know Jesus said, I'm the bread, the life, and all. Kalthofer says, sister, you hit the nail on the head, Lucifer light. Thank you, Kalthofer. I think people should be given the freedom to leave this religion if they use their reason and see that this is a false religion. And there's no proof beyond reasonable doubt that you can't worship devoted to a plant. Maybe that plant, in it you see the glory of Allah, you see the face of Allah, Wajh Allah. The ayats don't have that beyond reasonable doubt proof against polytheists. So I wish the Christians would not come here, but that the Shias would come here and tell me directly so we can have a, how is it that Rasulullah, what evidence is it that he's even a true prophet? Do you have evidence beyond reasonable doubt? From the ayats, please. From the ayats. First Quran ayats, right? Let's forget the Ahl Bayt. How should the Quran have been taken so that because you see, Fatima was given Fadak, Fatima is given the Panjatan Pak, then are given a high status of thoroughly purified with thorough purification. They are the guides, they are like the stars, they are your guides, and they are but from the progeny of Prophet Muhammad. When he destroyed the progeny of Huwai, how do you know that that Prophet Muhammad is not fighting out of rivalry, has not stolen these verses from the Jews, Christians, polytheists? How can you be sure about that? Tell me, please. How can you be sure that his Allah is the witness, which Allah for everyone is the witness? God is the witness. How can you be sure that these polytheists, he didn't take some of the polytheists from their books? We were told he destroyed their gods in the Kaaba, the ones in the Kaaba. He cleaned the Kaaba. How can you say for sure that he didn't destroy their books? If he had to steal from them, then he would have to destroy them. And when I'm proving a contradiction in the Quran ayat, and someone like Salah ad-Din is saying that, oh, look at this, the tragedy of this. I'm very upset by this, right? Surah Mujadila says, Surah Ahzab verse says, take them as your mothers. But what happens now? We were told that Prophet Muhammad himself, the widows, he was helping widows. He was a true prophet. So he was helping widows. Where's that other? He was helping widows, right? Let me just, he was helping widows. Now these wives are their mothers, since God has made them. There's no contradiction, they say. In Surah Mujadala Ayat 2, do not even call them your mothers. When you proclaim them that they are your mothers, bats, right? Now, Salahuddin said, and I know the Shias, that all of them agree unanimously, the Muslims, religious scholars also, that after his death, no one is to marry his wives. How old Aisha was, how old was Safiya? Was she 20 years old when he was 58 years old? I don't know, like something like this. I just learned from this video on YouTube, right? Nabi Asli. Nabi Asli. I learned recently from the Sunni hadiths or tafsirs that Safiya was 20 years old and the Prophet was 58 years old. So, how old was the Prophet when he died? And how old was Safiya at that time? But no one can marry Safiya since she's become his wife. No Muslim, no Mu'min, believer, because his wives are their mothers. Now, who takes care of them? Who will give them companionship if you say, well, these slave girls, Zara, they not for sex, but they needed a man after losing their husband. They needed love. They needed companionship. Huh? If I tell them, the Shias, that why not have, just not marry them, just help them out for a year, see, have a different place for these slave girls who have come in your custody, and don't get married to them. Let them decide if they want to get married to a Muslim believer or Prophet Muhammad. Because it says in one ayat, if a believing woman offers herself to you, then marry her. But you also have to see that she was not under duress or weakened in such a way. When the Shia see all sides when it comes to Fadak, Abu Bakr, and the conflict between Abu Bakr and Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet. Kalthofer says, sister, that's easy. Half the Quran can be found in the Haggadah, the Mishnah, the Talmud, which are not divine revelations, but interpretations and fairy tales. Even the Jews say that. Yes, they're not inspired books. Yes, so yeah, that is a point. Kalthofer, thank you for this point. And why do the Shias completely disregard that ayat 30 in Surah Azab, same 30, 52, that even if you find them good, hasanat, like good in manners and all, these disbelieving women who have now become, I don't know. So, believing women or just women. But there is a thing that even if you find them beautiful, good manners or beautiful or what, okay, so it's you can't argue with the Shias. Then the wives are the mothers, the believers' mothers. So if you say that, well, they needed companionship and all this, after the Prophet dies, they don't have any companionship. And some of them may have loved the Prophet so much, crying, crying, crying. You know, at least someone should have been there to give them the companionship, to take the Prophet's place and make them wives. So, I mean, this chief's daughter, you know, she was from the family of Harun, Safiya. And if you're saying these widows were so miserable and they thought they were high, no, they were just respected as. I think it's all wrong from the even the commentary. Zainab bin Josh wasn't like let's. I think this is all wrong about her life, and then you see, you look at also look at this. It's a very good shaitan, I must say. It's one of the best shaitans. Look, I read in the Shia commentary that she was miserable when her marriage broke with Zed. She couldn't get along with Zed. She thought she was a highborn. So the Prophet wanted her, you know, everyone is equal in the eyes of Allah. Really? Then what about Surah Nisa ayat 25? Those believing slave women whom your right hands, whom you possess with your right hands, they're not equal, right? Zainab, I think she was a widow with that feeling. She was a happy widow. You know what I mean? It's now not the sunnat, as they say, of Rasulullah. It's the sunnat that you should get married. Your parents will be after you. This, even after divorce, get married, get married, get married. It's the sunnat of Prophet Muhammad to get married. The Muslims don't know the name of Zainab's first husband. Isn't there something mysterious here? Why? But it is mentioned that he had died by the time of Hijrah. At the time, Zainab, who had become a Muslim, was among those. Now, Zainab was married to the Prophet. Couldn't she have given her first husband's name? Could he have killed her? And what if her first husband's name was Muhammad Mustafa? Anything is possible now. I can't trust in these things. But what I trust in is something like, if they say against Zainab that she felt she was a highborn, I would say no. The widowship was protected by these polities so well that they didn't need to feel any shame or be miserable that they don't have a husband. So she had lost her first husband somehow and unnamed. Then the marriage with Zaid, for God's sakes. Here, you may give your satanic reasons, context, read Surah Nur, Ayat 33. Muslims may come, all of them, unanimously with what Kalthofer said. You see how Asbabul Nuzul. Come with your Asbabul Nuzul. Prophet is there. Reason, please. Surah Yunus, Ayat 100. Where is it? It says that she was a highborn. She was an ambitious woman. However, how ambitious was she? But she was forced to marry Zaid. And she agreed. She said, okay. However, and may already have hoped to marry Muhammad. Or she may have wanted to marry someone with whom Muhammad did not want his family to be so closely allied. Yes. Zainab didn't even want to get married to Zaid. Yes. The Shia commentary tells us that. And what would you say, Kalthofer? The marriage ends with Prophet Muhammad's best efforts. Who would you blame? Huh? Now I have to take the tafsir. Who would you blame? And why is Prophet telling the husband, Zaid, keep your wife and fear Allah? Should he not tell his cousin Zainab bint Josh? And since he's forced her to marry Zaid, that please keep your husband, be with your husband. We're told he used his best efforts in multilingual Quran. Oh my goodness. Huh? And the Shias are like, they're crying for Zainab bint Ali. This poor person was forced. I'm slow, kind of. Today, sorry. Okay, we have to go to verse 36. Thank you for being here patiently. I'm slow. Oh God. Zed was taken out of inheritance. What is it? No, this is not about inheritance, sorry. Okay, this one. Islam or submitting to Allah's will includes all the virtues. No, 36. It is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, when a matter has been decided by Allah and His Messenger, to have any option about their decision. If anyone disobeys Allah and His Messenger, he is indeed on a clearly wrong path. Tabari has the full story on this. Yes, but I want to show the Shia side. Right? Shias. I'm on Shias now. Kalthofer. Refer to the commentary of verses 4, 5, and 28 to 32 of the surah about Zaid. But why don't you want to look at the Shia side? Because I want to show you the satanic intellect of the Shias. They grieve for Zainab bint Ali. They don't grieve for this poor lady who was forced to marry Zaid. And then her marriage broke. Their Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, fifth Imam, says, so her brother, you see here it says, the Prophet's cousin, Zainab, daughter of Josh, was celebrated in their marriage. Okay. At the time of their marriage, when she was informed by the Holy Prophet, she did not like the proposal. So her brother Abdullah bin Josh and both of them, according to Imam Muhammad bin Ali al-Baqir, the fifth Imam of the 12 Shias, says, wanted to exercise their freedom of choice in this matter. Then this verse was revealed. It is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, when a matter has been decided by Allah and His Messenger, to have any option about that decision. If anyone disobeys Allah and His Messenger, he is indeed on a clearly wrong path. Wrong path. So this marriage should succeed if they obey. And this is what Zainab bin Josh did, thinking that her feelings will change for Zaid. Don't you think, consider these things, these matters, when you put so much other commentaries about Abdullah bin Ubay, how bad he was, how terrible the polities were in detail. So Zainab had to obey Allah and His Prophet about her marriage with Zaid. Right? This is what Imam Muhammad al-Baqir tells us. Wanted to exercise, Imam Muhammad Baqir tells us they wanted to exercise their freedom. I don't know why, but her brother also came, Abdullah bin Josh. So her brother, Abdullah bin Josh, and both of them. So her brother was also backing her, Zainab bin Josh, a cousin of Prophet Muhammad. That no, my sister doesn't want to get married to Zaid. They wanted to exercise their freedom of choice in this matter. Then this verse was revealed. The verse above, 36. I keep reading. We must not put our wisdom in competition with Allah's wisdom. Please ask yourself, what is Allah's wisdom in this? That Zainab bin Josh, a good believer who obeyed Allah and His Messenger, marriage fails. And you blame Zainab. But you say she's a good believer. Here it is put here. And that Prophet Muhammad tried his best, with his best efforts to save this marriage from divorce. Here, even Lucifer's light, greatest light, shining, fails. The light of the intellect of the Shias fail here. That's besides the point called Hofer. Tabari, they may, if the Imam say no, this is, if the Imams, the Hadith has come, then it's with Tabari. If it goes with Tabari, then they can accept Tabari's tafsir. It's not like they don't accept Tabari. Please, but the point here is that the Shias have failed. They will fail here with me. Justified. I'm standing here for Zainab. I'm standing firm here. She was forced to marry Zaid. I'm showing you he's a false prophet here through these ayats and the tafsir. Shias have failed in their tafsir. If you apply just common sense reason for that lady, what wisdom of Allah that they could not understand, right? Then this wisdom that we've made it easy for you now to marry your adopted son's ex-wife, divorcee. For you believers, now you can marry your adopted son's ex-wives. Tell me here, which Shia with their intellect come with Imam Ali's intellect? If they were believers, which it says they were good believers. You're saying here to these believers, this is God's wisdom, we must not challenge God's wisdom. You're saying we must put, yeah, we must accept it loyally and do the best we can to carry it out, right? But Zainab didn't do her best to carry it out. Yet, on that, the Shia say that they were good believers. Both were good believers. Both Zainab and Zaid were good believers. So we must be accept it loyally, and we must do our best to what? Carry it out. Now here what is to be carried out? The marriage. Being a good wife to Zaid. Zainab has to be. Zaid was a good wife, husband. Then we are told that they were both good believers and both loved the Holy Prophet. So we must accept it loyally and do the best we can to carry it out. Where do you see a logical lapse here against this tafsir? Both were good believers and both loved the Holy Prophet. We must accept it loyally and do the best we can to carry it out. Of course, we must do our best to carry it out. This is the sign of a good believer. So Shia's high intellectual logic, intellect, this, that, fails here. It says here, both were good believers and loved the Holy Prophet. Do you see this? Both were good believers and both loved the Holy Prophet. But there was mutual incompatibility. Oh, okay, I'm tired now. When explaining, I get tired. I get really tired. Shias don't want to see this. They lead me to another verse and another verse and another verse. You know, our intellect, our this is context, read in context, do this, do that. Now what can I do with such Shias? How could the marriage break? And he put in his best efforts, the Holy Prophet. How can the marriage fail? Allah's wisdom. Obedience to Allah and the Prophet, you will never go wrong. If you hold fast to two things, what Shias, according to the Shias, what did Holy Prophet say? And my itrat, the Quran and my itrat, you will never go astray. How can this marriage fail? But there was mutual. For goodness sakes. No reason good enough. The blessing, she accepted the marriage. How can there be room for mutual incompatibility, the nafs to come out, when they've submitted their will here to Allah and the Prophet, his decision, Allah and his messenger's decision? Huh? How could there be mutual incompatibility? This means their own nafs is coming out again. Mutual incompatibility. Right? Right or wrong? So please don't let me go round and round in circles with these Shias head banging. The writing is plain to see. Sister, go rest. These Shia lies will be here. Tomorrow, don't run yourself down. Yeah, maybe I'll take a break. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you, Call Toffer. Yes, I need. Well, there's no rest, but just, yeah, it's too much now, and I need to, little bit, yeah, try to get my energy. Or it's all negative energy, but slightly get some rest. Thank you so much. Thank you all, Christopher, Machoko, Kaltoffer. Thank you. Hope you see the truth. And if you have any, like Nanga Bai, thank you so much. God bless you all, your family members, and lead you that to humanity. And know that you can believe in yourselves. You know, there is something God has sent inside of you. Rather than looking outside, studying someone else's book and someone else's way, a good teacher will show you God within you if you are in search of God, if you are in search of truth. Where should you be looking for God? Where should you be working? If the soul is bad, work on yourself if you want to be a good person. I'm saying if you want to be a good person. Because the ones who are not bad, even no religion even can make them right. They just say kill those people or punish them strictly, right? So, but we are saying let them be. We're not going to punish them. If, for instance, the crime is against the good, beneficial, what is even personal attacks, they may give us, you know, like a, but physically, if they harm us, you see, and no threats given to them that if you, but you need to secure yourselves. Yes, everyone needs security. So the criminals need to understand, and those who are cruel people, that we have the right to live. So we will see what happens next, how we can go on. But to force people to marry and to force people to accept, to threaten people to accept Islam and religions and coerce them, and even through like cajoling them, is not right. Kaltoffer says, sister, that's called first look in the mirror. Yes. So let's make this world a better place and say yes to humanity. And our prayers should be in action, like Mother Teresa, love in action. Uh, so guidance, beautifully, peacefully, like the gurus. If you need guidance, if you need meditation, need union with God, right? You can go for the gurus, and to help each other. I think the greatest worship is to heal the wounds of others. The greatest worship. So, my 5 times prayers, I got God, enough. I'm one with God now. I can go out and maybe get up in the morning. God, I thank you for giving me another day to do good to my fellow humans, right? I will pass this day, this road path but once. So if there's any good that I can do, let me do it now. So my Hayya Allah Khair al Amal Azan call, as the Shias put it, come to good deed, is not that. Once I get that, I go out. I don't waste too much time in my salat. Go out and do the good deed. That is what I pray for, wish for. To heal the wounds of others. Even if you can give an understanding heart to someone, listen to someone's distress. So, not that I'm even, I have the energy for that. You see how I couldn't talk about this person I was told by Kaltoffer who has been burnt in Pakistan. Or maybe not, the police saved him. Hopefully, Okay, so thank you so much, all of you. God bless you and have a wonderful, blessed day. May we be graced by God that we help each other, heal each other's wounds, listen to each other's problems, and solve each other's problems. Sister, even John said, don't be good to your fellow man with your mouth, but with your works. Yes, that's a very good saying, succinctly put by John, the disciple of Jesus. Right? Thank you so much, Kalthofer. Now I need to go. Yes, now my energy is gone terribly down. Thank you so much.